Welcome to the Willow Show. This is your home for a wealth in health and sexual vitality. And today we're really diving into health. I have an awesome, amazing, incredible, wonderful woman guest speaker for you today. Her name is Jessica Baker, and she is not only a very dear friend of mine, but an incredible herbalist. I mean, this woman, we used to study together, and would always just blow over me with the herbs, man. She's been studying herbs for a million years. So Jessica has recently written a book called Plant Songs. Such a cool title for this book. I'm so excited. I want to hear more about the book, but first I'd love to hear, Jessica, from you, like what originally got you into herbal medicine?
Thanks, Willow. And yeah, I remember our studying together, and you're pretty on it as well. So, but herbs are my passion, and I have been studying herbs for about 20 years. I started studying with Jane Bothwell at the Dandelion Herbal Center up here in Humboldt County, California. And it was really like I'd loved plants, but I had no idea just, the magic that they held inside. Like, oh, this one can actually help you with a fever or a cold, or this one can even just like help you like lift your spirits if you're feeling sad or lonely. And, it was really for me a way to connect with nature, which I grew up in a military family. And so I was really uprooted, and I felt like I had no like root to this earth because I was just so transitory. So herbalism gave me, what I say, it like helped me find my roots, and really gave me a sense of connection, which, is just so important to all of us in this crazy world of feeling disconnected and a little out of balance.
Yes, it is. That's so cool that herbalism help you find your roots, because the roots are like one of the biggest medicines. When we've got leaves, we've got roots, we've got stems and flowers. All of that can be herbal medicine. So tell us now about the book. Give us the full title and what kind of, inspired you to write this book.
Okay, well, I'll show you the beautiful magnolia image on the front that my great friend Jason Garcia illustrated. So the book is called Plant Songs, Reflections on Herbal Medicine. And it's kind of broken into 4 parts. So I talk about, like my childhood, my early childhood, adolescence, young adulthood, and now what I call the wisdom years, now that I'm, 40-ish. I won't say exactly, but 40-ish. And so it was really like what plants, whether I was conscious of it or not at that time period of my life, which plants kind of guided me along the way. And so it was really like I wanted to not only like have a cathartic release of like all the emotions that I've had through my life, but also a way to just remind people that when you have this deeper connection to nature, we actually have a deeper connection to ourselves, which we're all kind of yearning for in one way or another. So Absolutely. I really just want to remind people, hey, we're part of plants, plants are part of us, and we need each other to really thrive in our lifetime.
Yeah, so it's this coexistence that we have with the plants that surround us, and they can actually enhance our vitality, not only heal whatever is ailing us, but also kind of just enhance our vitality. One of my favorite herbs of all time that I tell everyone, just get on it, is ashwagandha.
Yeah.
What an incredible herbal remedy. But tell us a little bit more about like some of your favorite herbs.
So some of my favorite herbs, it's kind of like that, which one's your favorite child? Which I don't have children, but I know that's always like, no, they're all my favorite. And that's kind of how I feel about herbs, is every time I'm like, no, this one's my favorite. And then I'm like, actually, no, well, how could I say this one's over this one? But for the book, I have to only cover so many. So I covered 16, nice. 4 in each section, just because I was like, you got to draw the line somewhere. And if another inspiration for the book was there's a lot of boring herb books out there, and I didn't want to just regurgitate another, no offense, boring herb book. Yeah. So for this one, some of my favorite plants are rose, because how can you not love rose? Everybody, such a good heart opener. Redwood tree is in there as one of my favorites, because moving to Humboldt County and finding my roots here was really like, man, the redwoods really were a huge part of just healing so much of what I've experienced in my life. You know, just that reminder that, you know, life is timeless. You know, we've got these trees that are thousands of years old. It kind of reminds you kind of not to take things too seriously. And also there's just a different time zone that life is on that we as humans kind of forget about.
Right.
And then also, you know, I have cannabis in there as one of my favorite herbs because, you know, for obvious reasons, it's such good medicine and, you know, not only enlightening, but also, as we know, it's the therapeutic properties that have, you know, the Chinese medicine we've known forever. I mean, it was in our oldest materia medica. And then also like nettles and yarrow and hawthorn. So I kind of cover so many, everything from like mushrooms, reishi mushroom is in there, to like, oak tree.
Oak tree.
Yeah. Yeah, that strong oak medicine that, you know, of just like strength and resiliency. In a lot of, you know, Druid traditions, it's really like the warrior herb because, you know, a lightning can strike the oak tree and the oak tree just still thrives. So it's just that reminder that we can overcome anything.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love the oak medicine. That's so good. That's actually one of my favorite trees of all time is an oak tree. Just love the way they like reach out and organically meander and grow. And so what would you use oak for?
Oak is really good. You can actually use it as like a skin wash. If somebody's having like irritated skin, you can use the oak bark. They use like flower essence of oak a lot for people who do like maybe how we would call like a Wei Qi deficiency, or just like they get colds or flus or emotional influences because they kind of had that thinner skin. So to like give you that thicker skin, or if you just need courage. You know.
Good.
So you can, it's really like, it's pretty, it has a lot of tannins. So it's kind of like astringent if you were to drink it, but like if just the flower essence of it being around it is also great. So, and then we also have the acorns, of course, which come from the oak, which are like one of our, you know, keystone foods that have helped civilizations thrive for thousands of years.
That's so cool. So just like the very building, like the strength, the resiliency, the groundedness, the rootedness, and just like foundational. Feels very foundational.
Right, absolutely. And then the acorn, super high in protein. So if we need like a good, it's not easy protein source because, you know, you have to leach it and there's a huge process. But if we had time for that, you know, also really good protein source.
Nice. That's awesome. Now, speaking of essential oils, you have a whole essential oil line now.
I do. Thank you for asking. It's a Baker Botanica, and I have a few products here, 5 to start, based on the 5 elements of Chinese medicine. So I have like passion is the fire element that's associated with summer, the season we're in right now. And so, you know, being the FDA, you can't really make any medical claims. But just if you need something like uplifting, if you're feeling like down or just apathetic or some sort of lack of compassion or joy, then you can just do a little roll on. It's super easy. You know, roll on anywhere you feel like you need, or, you know, you can smell it. You don't even have to roll it on. You can just, if you need like aromatherapy, you can just inhale it. It's super easy. I don't use any essential oils that may be too irritating to the skin. And a big push for my education in terms of how people should use essential oils is they're already all diluted in a carrier oil.
Nice.
So they won't irritate the skin, and also that just importance of conservation, because essential oils, it takes a lot of plant material to make a very small amount of oil. So we don't need tons of essential oils. We really just need a couple of diluted drops to make a huge change.
Ooh, that's so cool. Yeah, it's such powerful medicine. And so the essential oil, now the 5 elements, just so you know, Jessica and I both went to acupuncture school together, so we are Chinese medicine doctors. And so 5 elements in Chinese medicine are a little bit different than the elements you might normally think of. But fire is one, wood is one, water, earth, and metal is one. And so you've got an essential oil for each one of those elements. And these are elements that I work with all the time in my teaching. I teach Qigong around these elements. I teach Taoist sexology around these elements. And they are, you know, as Jessica was saying earlier, like the plants are part of you and you are part of the plants. So it's not like you're just part of nature. It's that you actually are nature. Like you actually come from nature and you have these elements flowing through you all the time. So when, you know, maybe your metal element, your connection to spirit, connection to a higher source is a little depleted or not feeling totally right on par, then this essential oil, easy roll-on, would be an epic way to just bring that metal element into balance, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
So cool.
You.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get them for all my women.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what happens when we tap into the medicine of our aromatic plants that, yeah, we've been using forever in Chinese medicine, in this like nice, easy way. Because we, you know, as an herbalist, I'll walk around with, you know, tons of bags of dried herbs, but for most people they're not going to do that. It's just not realistic. You know, they're not going to be like, oh, let me make this aromatic tea that's going to take 15 minutes to concoct. It's like, no, let's just have a nice, simple, easy roll on, and you know, you can take it anywhere with you, which we need, because we're out of balance when we're not at home in our safe zone, right? So it's like, oh, I'm in traffic, I need a little clarity. Let me just like work on that wood element so I don't get frustrated and then end up yelling at people on the road.
I love it. So this is a super amazing, powerful tool. Not only is the book an incredible read, like so entertaining and fun and, you know, very not boring. It's the opposite of that.
It's pretty funny. I like, people are like, they're like, they call me up, they're like, I was bawling during the, you know, Magnolia chapter. Or they're like, oh my God, you are funny and out there in the psilocybin chapter, you know? So like, you got to balance it out. You can't just like regurgitate, you know, back in Culpepper's day, they blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, what's happening today in somebody's personal life with plants?
Yeah, that's so cool. So the book is a great read. The essential oils are an incredible tool. And those, you can find both of those on Amazon. Is that right? Or
You can find the book on Amazon. The essential oils you can only find on my website right now, but hopefully in the next week or so, they'll be on Amazon.
Awesome. Great. And then you also, Jessica, you have a regularly scheduled blog that you put out and a podcast, correct?
Yes. The blog is the Herb Walk, or sometimes called blurbs on herbs, depending on what mood I'm in. And then the podcast is also the Herb Walk with Jessica Baker. And the podcast is on Stitcher and iTunes. And I'm recording the second season right now. Awesome. And the blog, I schedule 1 or 2 times a week, depending on what's going on. I've kind of just cut back to once a week just because I'm so busy. But it's all information on herbal medicine and kind of like nature. Sometimes it's what's relative in the world and how that's affecting our psyche and our emotional space. So just plants that can help us, you know, work through the transitions and the challenges of life.
Nice. That is so valuable and so needed right now in this world. And I think more and more people are just really hungry for it. So it's good timing.
Well, we're hungry for connection, and that's what herbs give us, right? Is a connection to spirit and nature and ourselves. Because like you said, we are part of all of that. We are it.
Yeah.
It's not this outside force. It's like, no, this is where we all evolved from. And, you know, we need that connection.
Yeah, we do. We need it. And it feels good when we get it. So Jessica and I encourage you to go out and get it. Definitely be connecting with the plants around you, be connecting with yourself, connecting with others, and connecting authentically, you know, and also getting the support that you need through Jessica's book and through her essential oils and, you know, through connection with me, with her, with the people who really feed your soul and make you feel like good in your body and in your mind and in your heart. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I think with that, we're gonna bow to you, to your heart, and bid you all a beautiful rest of your day. Any final closing words of wisdom, Jess?
Just, get out in nature and don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah,
Those are my words of wisdom.
good I love those words. Okay, much love, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.